in London have been named in newly released court documents relating to the sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. They include associates, friends, and alleged victims of the disgraced billionaire who died in jail 5 years ago. The papers relate to a case that was brought against Epstein's associate, Ghislaine Maxwell. She's currently serving a 20-year jail sentence for child sex trafficking.
In all transcripts of interviews, depositions, all part of a civil lawsuit brought by one of Jeffrey Epstein's accusers against Ghislaine Maxwell, his longtime friend and associate, who is now serving 20 years in prison for crimes that she committed with him. And yes, these documents have references to several of the very high-profile people that we know were associates of Jeffrey Epstein over the years. There are more than 60 references to Prince Andrew. There's the repeating of at least one allegation against him that in the past Buckingham Palace has described as categorically untrue.
In the time since this lawsuit was filed, of course, as Peter just mentioned, Ghislaine Maxwell has been convicted in a federal trial. So the fact that a decision has been made to stop protecting the names of these people just shows us that I think the legal landscape is changing. The judges are more willing to be transparent and more willing to stand up to wealth and power when it comes to the impunity that they have operated with for a very long time.
Well, this, I think, is one of the most important things to talk about today because, as we've just heard, this lawsuit was filed in 2015. It's a lawsuit that's almost 10 years old, and these names have been protected by judges for again and again over those 9 years. And it's really significant that Judge Loretta Preska has made this decision to make these documents public, because I think it shows that there has been a shift both in the legal system and in the culture in terms of taking these kind of sexual offences.
Why have the names not all been released in one go? Because in a way, delaying the release of them means more speculation, which we have seen on social media, which obviously we won't repeat here, but why not do it all in one go?
Yeah, it's a very good question, and the answer is that it mainly comes down to the fact that it's a very hard task for the judicial system to unseal all of these documents. Because these documents are still partially redacted to protect the identities of some of the victims who are named, who don't wish to have their identities revealed. So it's a long process of going through all of the documents, redacting certain names, and then uploading them to the court docket. It could just be that this is all that they could upload in one day. We might have exactly the same number of pages tomorrow. So unfortunately, it's a very boring answer, I think, about the clerical nature of the justice system. And we often see this with huge tranches of documents.